Hey folks, I hope you're having a good one. Yes, it is another Shaun Attwood video. Happy to oblige. A couple of screenshots for you today, which I had the pleasure of obtaining yesterday, and I have to say I probably chuckled more at these than I should have. They're maybe not that funny, but I found them pretty damn funny. I'd heard little murmurs here and there about this, or certainly about the content of some of these, or a couple of, one of these messages. I'd actually heard that Shaun had suggested there was lookalike actors involved, but I put that down just to a rumour, never really thought anything of it, never saw any evidence for it, so it's not something I've ever mentioned. And I very seem to recall, just very distantly, there was mention that Shaun tried to blame Brian Harvey, or said that Brian Harvey from East 17 was involved in the situation. I completely forgot about that. Again, it wasn't something that was really, out in the public knowledge that much, that I can remember anyway. So I never really went with that either. But now, thanks to a subscriber, I've actually got a couple of screenshots here. So I would just like to thank that subscriber. I don't want to mention any names of subscribers just in case there's a pile on or something like that, but you know who you are, and epic job. Really appreciate it. Well done for having the foresight to screenshot these, because this was all done before everything hit the fan for Shaun and Cali. There's no way Shaun would have known what was going to come out of this all. So what you're looking at on the screen here, it's a couple of screenshots of messages which show Shaun Attwood's verified YouTube account coming out with the most absurd comments that I've ever seen, which is probably why I found them hilarious, and posting them to Androgyny's channel. Now, I believe this was done on the day that Anne dropped the video where we're supposed to believe that Shaun and Cali were up to no good with large amounts of cash and bags of flour, allegedly. So the screenshot on the left that you're looking at there was taken at 12:45 on that day, which you can see with the wee arrow I've put on, and that was on the 3rd of September. It seems like ages ago, so it's only been a month that all this started to unravel. It does certainly feel a lot longer, and I'm sure it feels a lot longer for Shaun Attwood. But we've actually got Shaun Attwood's verified account, which you can see with the tick beside it. He says, "You have until the end of the day to remove this fake video with lookalike actors, otherwise I'm taking legal action." So, what a strange thing to say, especially for something that's supposed to be a prank. Maybe he was joking, trying to play along, but it's not really presented as a joke, is it? It looks more like a hasty defense, and also contains an instruction to remove the video or face legal action. I don't get why he would have asked her to remove the video if it was a prank, but obviously we've seen the making of this specific video, the video with the flour and the oregano at Shaun's flat, which looked like a bomb site. Yeah, so we've seen the making of that video. I was under the impression that it was probably at least partially fake, but it still seems that Shaun didn't want Anne to have the video on her site. He said, "This is a fake video with lookalike actors, and please remove it or I'm taking legal action." If it was a prank, why would he say it was a fake video for a start? Definitely, why would he say it's lookalike actors? That's just a ridiculous thing to say. And if he expected people to believe that, once again, it just shows the contempt he's got for people's intelligence. And it's just not really presented as a joke, especially saying I'm taking legal action. If you don't remove the video, that's enough to make somebody, feel that they're, oh, I better take this video down, maybe. So whatever the reason for him saying that, it's weird. But if it wasn't weird enough, we've got the second screenshot, which was actually sent about 4 hours later. So he's had time to think about things. And what does he say? Well, this is where he actually tries to implicate Brian Harvey of East 17, of all people. Now, I don't know much about Brian Harvey, and I don't know much about his involvement in the, let's say, the truther community. But Brian Harvey is a completely unrelated, totally innocent party. He's got absolutely nothing to do with any of this, and you're dragging his name into your sleazy little cesspit of a prank. This little, I don't know what on earth you were trying to get through to people with this prank in the first place, but why on earth are you dragging Brian Harvey's name into it? A totally innocent person? Is it to wind up Anne? You know, you've got no thought for Brian Harvey, the person's name that you're actually pulling into this. In my opinion, completely out of order for him to do this, but I'll read out the message anyway that Shaun said. So he said, "Hey Anne, I have just been informed that Brian Harvey was impersonating me in this fake video. I'm going to include him in the lawsuit too. LOL." So obviously this is a joke, or it's presented as a joke. I do get that. I'm not that stupid, but you know, obviously Brian Harvey was not impersonating Shaun, but you'll notice that the comment is edited. So it was posted and it'd been edited very quickly because it was posted 7 minutes prior to the screenshot being taken. Now allegedly the unedited version, so the first post that went up actually said that it was Brian Harvey filming this video, not that it was Brian Harvey impersonating Shaun. So it went up saying that Brian Harvey was filming it, a far more believable story, certainly more believable than Brian Harvey impersonating it. You know, that's an obvious joke, but to say that Brian Harvey was filming it, that could be taken as absolutely serious by so many people, especially coming from Shaun Attwood's verified legitimate account. Why on earth would you try and drag somebody that's got nothing to do with it into it? Just bizarre behaviour, you know. I know Shaun has said that he's emotionally stunted or whatever, but up until this point, I'd obviously thought that he was a smart, reformed, respectable, intelligent, sort of saw him maybe as quite a wise guy. Now that obviously, I know, I'm well aware of the fact that that says a lot about my people reading skills, because you know I was fooled by him, and that's why it's annoyed me so much that this has all come out. But looking at this message where he's tried to implicate Brian Harvey, joke or not, putting that up there from your official account, just out of order. If anyone's got a screenshot of that original unedited message, then give me a shout because I'd love to see that. Obviously, I don't have any evidence that that is what it said before it was edited, but the evidence is there of what it said after it was edited and the fact that it was edited. Unless, of course, these screenshots are totally fake, in which case I'm sure Shaun will provide evidence to me that these are completely fake, and I will remove this video or add a correction, because obviously we don't need to remove videos, we just need to add a correction later on, which is what Shaun did recently when somebody took legal action against him for making completely false claims. Shaun put out a short video where he read a statement saying, yes, my video was completely wrong before, but he left up the wrong video, where he left up the video where all that false information was input. So that's probably what I would do if Shaun's legal team presented me with evidence that these messages are fake. But I don't think they are. I've heard a lot of people mentioning at least the lookalikes thing, and like I say, I've got a vague recollection of him trying to drag Brian Harvey into it back in the beginning. So I don't know what Brian Harvey's thoughts are on this. If anyone knows, let me know. But I really wasn't happy about being dragged into this sleazy situation. But that's it, just a short video today. Certainly remember to subscribe for more videos. I am thinking about maybe doing another topic, but I did actually make this channel simply to cover the Shaun Attwood cover-up. But I was thinking about maybe doing something else. There's one thing that sticks in mind, which was the whole Philip Schofield thing, which is a cover up. I know that's old news, but it's still ongoing as a cover up, and it's buried. And I think maybe it might deserve a video because it was something that just was exactly the same as the Shaun Attwood situation. It was a cover up unfolding in front of people's very eyes. Total scandal, and I think it might be interesting to cover, but I'm mulling it over, as I say. So yeah, subscribe if you do like this kind of thing. Help get the message out there about Shaun Attwood and Cali at the moment. We're trying to get him to answer a question, which is simply tell Anne what the email address is that you sent the original evidence from, and that'll prove everything that you've said. If you can't tell Anne the email address, then we're just going to carry on, obviously not believing you because it's obvious that the initial evidence was leaked by somebody else. And also their GoFundMe is still up, so that's ridiculous. But yeah, there we go. That's me for tonight, folks. I hope you all have a great weekend. Cheers.